All right, let's talk about this massive Premier League game coming up, Liverpool versus Newcastle United. And look, this is way more than just another match on the schedule. For both of these clubs, this game at Anfield, it really feels like a crossroads, a moment that could seriously shape the rest of their season. And if their last matchup is anything to go by, we are in for an absolute treat. I mean, do you remember their last meeting back in August? It was a total nail-biter, a proper back-and-forth classic that went right down to the wire, decided by a super late goal. That's just the kind of drama these two teams seem to create. So you gotta ask, right? Are we gonna see lightning strike twice? When you look at where both clubs are at right now, well, all the ingredients are definitely there for another classic showdown. But let's get real for a second. For two clubs with such huge ambitions, sitting in 6th and 9th place, that is not where they want to be, not even close. So this isn't just about bragging rights. There's a real sense of desperation here, which makes getting these 3 points absolutely massive. But here's where it gets interesting. Even though their league form has been a bit all over the place, both teams just had some pretty impressive results in Europe. You've got Liverpool, who just cruised to this huge 6-0 win. And then Newcastle. They dug deep and got a fantastic 1-1 draw against a giant like PSG. It just goes to show the quality is definitely there. The challenge is just finding that consistency week in, week out in the league. So let's break it down, starting with Liverpool. Their biggest opponent right now might not even be Newcastle. It's their own injury list. It's creating this huge paradox between what they can do and what they can actually put out on the pitch. And I mean, this list is just brutal. We're talking about really important players here. Striker Alexander Isak, midfielder Stefan Bajcetic. But the part of the team that's getting absolutely hammered is the defense. That's where the real crisis is. And it's all focused on this one spot, right back. I mean, there is a gaping hole on the right side of their defense. Their new signing, Jeremy Frimpong, just picked up an injury. Connor Bradley, he's done for the season, which is just awful. And the veteran Joe Gomez is a major doubt. This isn't just a small problem. It's a full-blown crisis in one position. So this leaves the manager, Arne Slot, with a massive headache. The question he's got to answer is a huge one. Who on earth can he possibly slot in at right back? And honestly, none of the options look great. He could go with the really inexperienced Calvin Ramsey, who hasn't played a single minute in the Premier League. Or he could ask Wataru Endo, a holding midfielder, to play completely out of position. Or, and this would be a really drastic move, he could pull Dominic Szoboszlai, who's been arguably their best player, out of the midfield to cover. Every single choice is a massive gamble. Okay, so while Liverpool's trying to plug holes in their defense, Newcastle's got a completely different issue. For them, it's not about missing players, it's a creative problem. And it feels like one man holds the key to their entire attack. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Just listen to their manager, Eddie Howe. After a recent loss when Bruno Guimaraes was out, this is what he said. I mean, that's a manager admitting just how vital the Brazilian midfielder is to everything they try to do going forward. And the difference is just night and day. When Bruno's in the side, Newcastle have that creative, forward-thinking passing that carves out chances. But without him, like in that 2-0 loss to Villa, that spark just disappears. The whole team just doesn't look as dangerous. And the problem is they're relying on him so much because other key attackers just aren't firing on all cylinders. Anthony Gordon's had a little dip in form, and Jacob Ramsey hasn't quite had the creative impact they were hoping for yet. So all of that just puts this immense pressure on Guimaraes to be the guy who makes something happen. So, with both teams dealing with these big problems, you have to think this match could come down to just one moment of magic from one player. So let's shine a light on the stars who could step up and be the hero for their team. For Liverpool, of course, all eyes are going to be on Mohamed Salah. It's been a really tough stretch for him in the league, an 8-game goal drought that goes all the way back before the Africa Cup of Nations. But then, midweek in the Champions League, he finally got one. He found the back of the net. So, was that the goal that unlocks everything and gets him back on track? And on the Newcastle side, their potential game changer is Joe Willock. And what a moment for him against PSG. Scoring his first goal in almost a year and doing it on a stage that big, that's the kind of thing that can totally transform a player's season. A huge way to repay his manager's faith in him. Okay, so let's pull all this together. We've talked about the injuries, the creative issues, the players who could be heroes. It really all boils down to a few key questions that are probably going to decide this thing on Saturday. So when you're watching the game, keep these 4 things in your head. 1, can that patched up Liverpool defense actually hold up? 2, will Bruno Guimaraes be fit and ready to pull the strings for Newcastle? 3, is Mo Salah really back, or was that midweek goal just a blip? And finally, 4, can Newcastle finally do something about their awful record at Anfield? The answers to those questions are going to tell the story of this game. At the end of the day, this match is about so much more than just the 3 points. It's a real chance for one of these teams to completely change the story of their season. So the real question isn't just about who's going to win, it's about which version of these teams is going to show up. The one that's been struggling in the league, or the one that's capable of those big European nights. It's going to be fascinating to find out.